You probably don't.
You look good in black and orange, by the way.
Yeah, it feels good.
Stop it. Stop it.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us today. We'd like to welcome those watching live on MASN and on Orioles.com, as well as those listening on 105.7 The Fan. Earlier today, the Orioles announced a deal with right-handed pitcher Yovani Gallardo. On stage, we are joined by Executive Vice President of Baseball Operations, Dan Duquette, Manager Buck Showalter, and Yovani Gallardo. Also joining us today are many Orioles players and members of the organization. Thank you for being here. We'll start with Dan.
Thank you, Kristen. Good afternoon. The Orioles are happy to announce that we agreed to a 2-year deal with Yovani Gallardo. Yovani has shown great dependability in his time as a major league pitcher. He's succeeded in the National League and also this year in the American League with the Texas Rangers. He's been one of the more consistent starters in terms of taking his turn and taking over 30 starts just about every single year of his career. And we're glad to have his leadership on our pitching staff. He's shown excellent leadership by rising to the occasion and pitching against the opposing club's aces, and also being very successful in the playoffs when he's been there a couple of times, both in the National League and recently in the American League. He won 14 games last year, and he's been very dependable for innings, and he's a terrific competitor. And I might add, he's won the Silver Slugger as a hitter. So he can not only pitch, but he can hit when given the opportunity. So I want to congratulate him and welcome to the Orioles. Congratulations.
Thank you. First of all, thank you, Dan, so much, and Buck, for giving me the opportunity to be a part of this organization. You know, it's played with JJ, you know, my early days in Milwaukee, but, you know, just playing against a bunch of the guys in the organization, it seems, you know, it's a great group. From what I've learned today, you know, they did a great job. They made me feel comfortable and welcomed here in the clubhouse, and, you know, I'm excited. I'm excited to be a part of this club, and, you know, looking forward to winning a lot of ball games with you guys, and that's for sure. You know, I was anxious to get started right away, and I'm glad to be here.
With that, we'll get started with your questions. Brittany?
Yovani, first of all, congratulations. But, with the last week, kind of with all the rumors and the apparent holdup and the changing of the deal, I mean, what was that like for you personally?
You know, I mean, it was a little bit different, to be honest. But you know, I'm just glad we were able to get something done. And it's, you know, like I said, I mean, it's part of the process, to be honest. I think it's part of the situation, becoming a free agent. But, you know, everything for me, everything's I'm past that. You know, I'm looking forward to, you know, like I said, being in this club, pitching for this team, and going out there every fifth day or whenever my name is called, and, you know, doing everything I can to get this team a victory.
What do you feel like you can bring to this pitching staff and this club to make it even better?
You know, for myself, just like I said, I mean, I think just I've had the experience, you know, both during the season and in the playoffs, and I think it's, you know, a little bit of leadership. I think there's a lot of talent in this club with the starting pitchers, and, you know, I think it's just we all need to feed off of one another. And I think it's, you know, like Dan said, I think you know, whenever my name is called, I've had the opportunity to start every, you know, at 30 or more starts. And I think that's very important. And, you know, just lead the guys in the proper workouts and that type of thing to be able to do that.
Given the kind of pitcher you are and the experience that you bring to this team and the style you have, at what point did you think that you were a good fit for this club?
You know what? I think it's obviously we know the kind of players that we have in this club. You know, it's great defense. You know, obviously they want to be a part of it, and I think it's just like I said. I mean, I've seen these guys play from the other side of the fence, from the other side of the field, and it's you know, it's just they're aggressive. You know, they're aggressive. They want to make that diving play. They want to make that fantastic, fill that ground ball up in the hole and make that good play. And I think it's just one of those things that, for me, my goal is to get that ground ball. Get that ground ball and let the guys behind me do the rest of the work. And, like I said, I've seen it. I've seen it before just from the few games that I've seen on the other side facing the Orioles.
Yovani, your name had come up in rumors of the Orioles early in the free agent process. At what point did they become a serious contender for your services, do you think?
You know what? I think since day one, to be honest. I think it's, we had a little bit of contact since day one, but, that was pretty much it. And then obviously as the offseason went on, I think it got a little bit more serious. And, like I said, I want to pitch for a team that wants me. Put it to you that way. I think it's, they've had interest since day one, and, we were able to work something out.
Bonnie, what have you heard from maybe teammates elsewhere about playing in Baltimore, playing at Camden Yards? You've been there probably a couple times, but you haven't been there a lot. Did you get any feedback over the offseason asking maybe some teammates who had played here what it was like or played in Baltimore?
Not really. A little bit. I know the one thing is, it's a tough place to pitch, but that's what I hear. But you look at the stadiums that I pitched in. In Milwaukee, it wasn't. I wouldn't consider it the pitcher's park, to be honest. And last year in Texas, but you know what? I'm up for the challenge. I'm looking forward to it, and like I said, I'm going to go out there and, like I said, I just go out there and compete.
This question is for Dan. You've talked all winter about wanting to upgrade the starting pitching, wanting to help that rotation. How much does adding Yovani help not just this rotation, but the ripple effect of the whole organization's pitching depth down below?
Well, I think Yovani helps us because he's shown he's a very dependable starter, and he's up to the challenge of going against the best pitchers, and he's done that over the course of his career. I think when you have dependable starting pitchers and they have the experience that Yovani has, it helps the other pitchers, the younger pitchers. They have a good role model. They can watch him do his job, but I think they can settle in comfortably and do their job.
So what was it like navigating the offseason through the whole qualifying offer process? This has been something that's been out there for the past few years, and it's hard to kind of navigate. What was that whole process like for you, not necessarily knowing, the interest there, and teams not necessarily willing to give up a draft pick and all that kind of stuff? Yeah,
it definitely was a little bit different, to be honest. I think it wasn't, it's obviously you have that week to decide whether you're going to take it or not. But, for myself, I felt comfortable enough to the way that I've pitched throughout my career. It's one of those things, it's a personal decision. And then pretty much after that, I just followed my off-season program as I did in the years before, and just kind of let everything fall into place.
How important is it to the rotation to have somebody with this experience and track record that you can plug in there?
I don't think it's going to be the impact as far as everybody's got to do what they do. And anytime you can improve your depth, we're not going to ask him to it's not a prerequisite for success. It certainly helps us, but we still have to do all the other things that the game entails in order to be consistent and win baseball games. So it's like whether if Darren O'Day came back or Chris Davis came back or Matt Wieters came back or X, I can keep going. Those things, it's a sum of the parts, and obviously the guys that are here are all a part of it. And I think Yovani would be the first to tell you, he's going to try to do his part and be somebody that you can trust and depend on. That's all we're asking, nothing more, nothing less. And we feel comfortable about that type of commitment with someone like him.
Yovani, what does it mean to you to have all these people, your new teammates, and everybody here today to show their support for you?
It's great, to be honest. Like I said, I think it's. I would say that this is the first time that I had the guys show up to whatever new team that I've been with. Last year at Texas. It's it just shows the kind of the support that they have for each other, and we're going to stick together. I think that's one of the most important things. We're going to pick each other up whenever we have to, and stay positive and keep moving forward.
Any additional questions, Joe?
Was the goatee part of the negotiation at all, or?
No, it wasn't. I figured I had to get rid of it.
Did you have
What was it like being out on the field today? I mean, you talked about wanting to get in camp and wanting to start the season. Obviously, spring training's already started. There's a few days late here. What was it like, and how far do you have to play catch up in your eyes, or?
No, I mean, it was great today. Just like I said, I was anxious to get out there. And, I prepared myself. I kept doing my throwing program as any other regular off season. And it's obviously, the past couple of days been a little bit different. But, I feel comfortable. I've done enough throwing to where I'm prepared for coming into camp. And, I did struggle a little bit on a couple PFPs, but we got to work on that. Maybe I'll get some of the infielders to teach me.
You got a mound in your backyard?
No, I don't.
It's funny. This guy was fixing some windows for me back in Dallas, and he told me that he drives by Yovani's house and saw him throwing in the backyard or doing something. I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, I don't either.
I'll bring him to the ballpark.
Yeah, I might have to get one now. It might have been for my son. I don't know. We'll blame it on my son. He was the one getting some work.
Sign him too.
Yovani, was it a concern to you that as much as you like hitting, that you wouldn't be able to pitch very often in the American League? I know you didn't last year either.
No, I mean, I think it's I didn't do it last year. I just think it's it's an added bonus. I've always liked hitting, but that's the good thing about interleague. I think now you have this series, and we'll see. I mean, if I get the opportunity to go out there and swing the bat, I'm gonna have fun with it. I've enjoyed it, and I did it in Milwaukee quite a bit, and it's it's one of those things. Being in the National League, I guess. I mean, you have to take it serious. You're gonna be swinging every 5 days, but you know what? My number one job and objective is to go out there and pitch. That's the first priority, and everything else after that. If I get the hit, I get the hit. If I don't, I don't.
Matt, were you catching the double he hit off us? Who's the pitcher? Who's the McFarland? Notice Mac ain't here today.
Put him on.
Yeah, he's I'm the guy that walked the guy in front of him. I knew he was coming off the bench.
Do you have any other questions? Okay, I think that will conclude today's press conference. Thanks so much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, kid. Nice.